So in this episode of my home decor series, I want to talk to you guys about my bookshelves. If you can see behind me, I have symmetry. Finally, it took me 5 years to get it, but I finally have symmetry. I got 2 new bookshelves from Amazon. I'll be sure to link those down below. And I decided to fill it with all the great stuff that I got in my last video. If you have any questions about what's on my bookshelf or where I got it from, be sure to check that video out. I listed everything, and if there's a link and I am able to link it, I did it in that video. So today I want to start off by giving you some tips and some guidelines to kind of follow when you're styling your bookshelf. Long gone are the days when we just shove a whole bunch of books on a bookshelf. So before we jump into the tips, I do want to say the reason why people start styling bookshelves in their home is just another way to express your personality. So when you have guests that come over, they kind of get a sense of who you are as a person, and it really gives you the chance to kind of express your own interests, highlight some things that you really love, whether it's something you picked up on a vacation, traveling the world, something you got passed down from a family member. I want to start off with giving you my first tip, which is pick a palette. Make sure you go around and see what you have in your space, see what colors you can pull in from different areas of your space, and pull them into your bookshelf. A lot of you might not know that I am a very neutral person. I don't really like that much color, which is why my palette, I chose to go with a neutral palette. It kind of falls in line with my living room decor, and if I should ever want to incorporate color into my house, it is the easiest way to do it when you have a neutral palette. You're not tied down to one specific color couch. You're not tied down to one specific color curtains or whatever it is. If I want to throw on some color on my bookshelves and then throw a few pillows or a different color throw on my couch, I can, and it changes up the whole vibe of my space without having to literally redecorate my space. The next tip I want to give you is to try and layer your bookshelves. So because I have more of a modern space, I don't really like to shove a lot of stuff on my bookshelf, but layering is still an aspect in how you would want to style a shelf. Whether that's styling in threes, layering different textures, stacking things on top of each other, grouping things together, varying heights and sizes, layering from the back to the front. If you have a huge picture frame that you want to lean up against the wall, put some things in front of it. That's always a cute option as well. For the most pleasing look, rules of 3s and 5s and styling in odds look the best. Also, a simple thing like varying the direction of your books. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is still a bookshelf, so you still can incorporate books on your shelf, but try and vary them in different directions. Stack them on top of each other, stack them vertically, turn them around, and just let their pages show. My next tip is to try not to place items that are too close together in shape or in size too close together. You don't want to cause too much competition. That goes for color as well. So if you have one item that's brown and then on the other side of the shelf it's another brown item, kind of use the diagonal method and style that diagonally instead of putting them right next to each other. Or if you have a really square item on one shelf and then another really square item on the next shelf, try moving that around, breaking up the shapes. That helps make it look more natural and not so structured. So if you have like something really square, add something really round or oval or triangular. And the next tip, which kind of follows along with what I said before, try to style diagonally. So if you have 2 bookshelves, kind of like I do, as far as following a zigzag pattern, you'll see that if I have a brown or rustic or pattern item on one shelf, diagonally on the other shelf, I would do something very similar, but I usually won't do it directly across from it. I'll have one white vase over here, and then I'll try and incorporate another white vase on the other side. So keep zigzagging your home decor and also breaking up the shapes. My next tip, this is one of my favorite tips, especially trying to style a modern space. Sometimes you just want to cram everything on your shelf, but it's okay to be okay with negative space, okay? So placing one item on a shelf by itself is okay. It is an odd number technically, so technically that fits into the odd number rule, but some things just need to shine on their own. They don't usually need a companion or somebody to sit next to them. Sometimes they just want to be the star of the show. And the last tip that I have, sometimes just putting things on display is beautiful and it's nice, but sometimes using a shelf for a more practical use is also useful. So on the bottom of my shelf, I included 2 baskets that I got from IKEA. I mentioned them in my last video, but I didn't want to add any huge focal points to the bottom, but I still need to use these shelves to hide things. Don't just use your bookshelves to style things up. Sometimes you can use them as functional pieces as well. Well, I hope that was helpful. Be sure to check out my last video about where I purchased everything. Also check out my other home decor playlist. My channel's based on home decor, lifestyle, and travel. With the pandemic, I can't travel too much, so I've been focusing a lot more on my home space. So if you're interested in seeing anything else in my space or a home tour, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Be sure to also give this video a like if you found it helpful at all. And I will catch you guys in my next one. Peace.